Here we are at the Taipei Farmers Market, where all the local farmers produce their local grown products, and very, very interesting, unusual food is being displayed here.
This is the Miaoli County stand, and you can see this is the seasonal fruit that is water pears.
The water pears is quite different than we know in Europe. What time of the year does the fruit be ready for picking?
This time, I think it's summertime.
It tastes a bit like apple, but also pear is taste as well. I'm just going to try that beautiful fruit juice.
It is made by the water pears and the white fungus, so you can test the natural sweet in this.
It's
Do you
natural
like it?
sweetness.
Yeah. Do you like it?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
That it is a lovely fruit juice. Probably needs to be chilled a bit in the fridge. The sugar content is very high, so diabetes, please be aware. But it is an ideal fruit juice, maybe also as a mixer in cocktails.
We are at the Hawker food stand. These come from the east of the island, and we also know as the cleanest place of this country. This is purple rice, and we make a triangle. And we for our known as the Dragon Boat Festival. And in the ancient times, we dump it to the river. And we want to save someone, it's dumped to the river. So maybe the fish will eat this, won't eat that one. And this have is, you can see egg and the meat. And also have some peanuts in there. And you can see it's not original rice, it's purple rice. For healthy.
What type of meat is that?
Pork. This is another kind of rice dumplings. It was included pickled cabbage. It was made by rice. It will taste like mochi. Yep, it will be a little bit like mochi. And in this one, it will have mushroom.
All right.
Yep, and a bamboo.
Here we see a typical type of cooker for cooking the bamboo leaves which are filled with the special rice. I'm going to try this delicious food. The flavor of the meat is just fantastic. The rice is unusual. I tasted many Hakka dishes of the different type of tribes. You really need to do a tour of the tribal races in Taiwan. This one is very, very nice. I love it. I only can recommend go to the East Coast and go into the mountains. Don't stay just on the Pacific. Go into the mountains and try the dishes. The local dishes in the villages are just delicious.
Taiwanese hamburger.
This is called guapao.
Yeah, it is kind of a hamburger that Taiwan.
And you fill the guapao with pork, cabbage into it.
Yes.
And then you put pickled cabbage, and then you put some spices to it, peanut butter. Oh, and then some leaves. Mary here is tasting for us that beautiful Taiwanese hamburger. Oh. You like? He's finishing it very quickly.
It's a little bit spicy. It's a child.
So here we are at a local farmer from Nantong. He's producing lovely, lovely fruit. I never had a pineapple which was as good as this one. The pineapple, it's really melting in your mouth. And this product also is being transformed into a fantastic juice. Here we are with Franklin, who has a coca plantation in Pingtung County. How did he get started in the chocolate industry?
He planted betel nuts during the betel nut, but the government told them not to plant the betel nut anymore, so they changed to cocoa.
I'm just going to try his tea, which is made from coca, is it?
Yes.
I can actually taste the chocolate part of the coca, and it's a refreshing drink. you very seldom and very rarely taste actually the nature of the coca plant. And that's what you taste in this tea. You could use this tea to make Irish coffee because the coca goes very well with the coffee. Mixing this into Irish coffee would give the Irish coffee a lovely additional flavor. So use coffee, use brown sugar, use Irish whiskey, and use coca tea.
This one is dark chocolate, 100% made in Taiwan.
100% chocolate, no sugar. I really, for the first time, taste chocolate without sugar. The farmers, they're good in making chocolates, good in producing this type of fruit, which is a chocolate fruit. But when it comes to marketing, farmers need the local help of government. So they need the association of farmers, and the government has to play a major role here to help to bring the product to the Taiwanese people.
Government is trying to help them, but it's slowly and not that strongly.
I suggest the government should put the money where their mouth is. The government told you to not do betel nut, to go into coca plant, so now they have to put up a little bit of money to market your product. Here we are with Zhongshan in Taiwan coffee maker. The coffee is produced in Alishan Mountain. Most people know probably Alishan tea, but the coffee is quite unique. I haven't tried too much Taiwan coffee before, as there is a lot of foreign coffee companies here in Taiwan. But what I did try about 4 weeks ago was that beautiful Alishan coffee in the Alishan Mountains. And the coffee has quite a unique taste. It is out of this world. It's like we had early on with the chocolate. The same counts for the coffee. There's a uniqueness in the growing of coffee bean in Alishan Mountains. Very much similar to what we talked about the chocolate industry earlier on. Unfortunately, there's not too much happening with Alishan coffee. The product should be much more introduced into the broad public. Not too many people know about Alishan coffee. And I just hope that proper management and maybe again what we need for the chocolatiers to bring farmers together and to join forces and to produce their trademark, the trademark Alishan coffee. In the Alishan Mountains, it's an ideal condition. It's south, so coffee needs that bit of extra heat, which you haven't got so much in the north. So the coffee plantation needs proper soil, and but it's the heat which is most important. And you find this in the mountainous areas in Alishan. So I would actually trademark Alishan coffee as Alishan coffee, not as Taiwan coffee. Taiwan people do something similar with the teas. They don't sell the tea as Taiwan tea. They sell the teas as their regional teas. So you have the teas in the northern part of the mountains, and you have Alishan teas. It is a bit like in Germany or in France with the wine region. You sell your wines to the region, and you should do similar with coffee and tea. You sell that to the region. So you sell your region rather than just the coffee as Taiwan coffee. It's coffee you don't get in any shop in Taipei. It's quite unique. The texture of that coffee is most beautiful. It would even taste better if you sit in the Alishan Mountains. This coffee has a little bit of bitterness in it, and this bitterness makes the coffee unique. Sometimes you can over-acid coffee, but here the texture is just, for me, it's perfect. I am a very old coffee drinker. I love coffee. The Germans are a coffee nation, Coffee in Germany is the most important drink, more so than tea, and so coffee is very, very important to us German people. How do you see Alishan coffee developing?
阿里山的咖啡现在已经变成是台湾咖啡业里面的一个
many
指标
people
性。
start to playing the
如
coffee
果说
because the Alishan
阿里山
coffee
的
is
咖啡
the
有办
famous
法
coffee
说
in
在
Taiwan.
世界
So
上
he thinks like the
持续得名得
Alishan
非
coffee
常
will
的
be the popular in the national next year. So as he thinks, many people will in Taiwan, many people will notice that the Alishan coffee is good. So they will start to play more and more Alishan coffee in Taiwan here.
If I go in Taipei, if I go into coffee shops, I very seldom see Alishan coffee. Some little shops you may get Alishan coffee, but in general you see coffees from all over the world, but not from Alishan. So what is your expectation, how you can promote Alishan coffee more in Taiwan?
你会觉得
Taiwan's many they have many coffee shops. So the Alishan coffee is the high level product. So many if the shop is the high level, they will sell Alishan coffee. And they also have the Japanese people live in Taiwan and only sell Alishan coffee in Taiwan's shop. So he thinks like because they have it is hard to find it in like the 7-Eleven or something like department store, but it is easy to find in the high level shop.
Obviously, if you promote your coffee more often all over Taiwan, so you will eventually have to produce more coffee. Has Alishan enough plantations to produce more coffee?
绝对不够。以目
I
前
don't think that it will be enough for when the whole Taiwanese eat, because the Alishan has just not have the
产品的
biggest
话，
place
台
to
湾
plant
任
it.
何一
Here we are with a coffee maker from Taitung. Taitung is, as we know, is southeast coast. And the coffee is different, somewhat different than the coffee from Alishan. Alishan grows up in high mountains. In Taitung, the mountains are not as high, so the coffee grows in a much warmer area. So therefore, the soil is different, and you can taste actually this beautiful organic coffee. The uniqueness of this coffee, and there's not many coffee roasters doing that, is really using ocean water for roasting process. There's a few countries doing similar type of ocean water roasting process. They're Japan, Vietnam, and Korea. This gives the coffee a unique taste. Takes a bit the bitterness out of the coffee. And it seems that the salt water, the salty aspect, gets into a chemical reaction with the organic growing coffee. Very beautiful. It extracts the bitterness out of the coffee. I just asked how much coffee they produce in a year. The answer was, it all depends how many typhoons are arriving. Because the typhoons are coming and they're damaging the coffee plants. So their production is very, very much depending on weather. The coffee industry in Taiwan is just like the chocolate industry in Taiwan. It's very, very unique. It's a product which cannot be produced in big masses, so as there's simply not enough land. Therefore, the product is quite unique and it can attract a high price. But they need help. They need help from government. Otherwise, they will just stay their backstreet businesses. So in order to promote Alishan coffee, Pingtong chocolate, please government help. Here at the Taipei Farmers Market, it's so overwhelming with Taiwan produced food. It's unbelievable. You have Taiwan coffee, you have Taiwan tea, you have Taiwan chocolates, Taiwan fruits. Everything is so well produced by local businesses from all over the country. You wouldn't see any of that in the supermarkets, and the fruit tastes just delicious. It's a much better much better system. So I only can advise everybody to support local product, to support local farmers who have it sometimes very, very hard to distribute their products, and they need all the help they can get. The product is just unbelievable delicious.